Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the housewife historian Lindsay, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we're also going to be talking about Kyle Richards and her alleged I don't want to say girlfriend, but I don't know what we should call her. What should we call her? Her alleged friend, sober friend, AA friend, all of the above. Before we get into that, of course, guys, everything in this video is alleged, and we're going to break down some things today. So make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. I run all of my tea through my through my YouTube channel first. So that's part of like the good thing about being on YouTube and following me on YouTube is that I post anything exclusive to my YouTube channel first before I put it to my other platforms like Instagram and TikTok and Threads and Twitter. So many these days, right? So let's get into this. Real Housewives Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards has been in the headlines lately. One, because her and Mauricio, her husband of 20 some years, announced a separation not that long ago after rumors were spreading that she was allegedly in a relationship with country music up and coming star Morgan Wade. So much so, the rumors were so strong that Kyle and Mauricio actually made a statement, which we've never seen them do in the 20 some years that they've been married and the entire time that she's been on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Some of the changes that we've seen in the last couple of years is Mauricio getting his own show on Netflix called Buying Beverly Hills. Kyle wasn't a part of this, but their girls were, and it's definitely building to their empire and creating generational wealth for their children. However, people have speculated that maybe Mauricio is sort of feeling himself, this thing that men do when they start to, well, anyone can do it, I suppose, but when they are up and coming and they hit really, really big success, this is allegedly something that can happen. Um, but I don't really know what that would necessarily be because Mauricio seems to be very much still tender and loving towards Kyle when he speaks of her. He did an interview with Two T's in a Pod back in April and let viewers know that there was going to be issues on the Real Housewives Beverly Hills following season as it pertains to him and Kyle's marriage. He kind of talks poorly about the other ladies for even bringing the subject up and forcing Kyle to and Mauricio to speak about it on camera. We know back in the beginning of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills franchise, there were rumors of Mauricio after a book was published from a Hollywood, I can't say the word, so I'm going to say egg worker, that wrote a book and named Eddie Murphy and also Mauricio Yermansky, allegedly. You can look that up if you'd like. So those rumors were speculating. You'll remember that season as the season that Brandy and Lisa Vanderpump fell out because when they went to the Bahamas, Brandy told Kyle and Mauricio that allegedly Lisa Vanderpump had wanted to put magazines with the headlines about the affairs in her suitcase. I think that was really the downfall of Brandy's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills career because I think she burned Lisa Vanderpump, and Lisa Vanderpump never forgot that. And Kyle certainly just didn't have the pull and the influence that Lisa Vanderpump did. And Kyle didn't have the loyalty to Brandy, regardless, even after years went by and Brandy basically saved that season coming on and talking about her alleged affair with with Denise Richards. Brandy pretty much saved the season that year. She didn't get credit for it, and she didn't get a full-time contract the following year. But, she's been kind of screwed by Bravo before too. So anyways, Kyle has since posted a 2.5 minute clip of her and Morgan Wade on the set of Morgan Wade's new country song. Kyle is going to be in the video. And Morgan lets us know how her and Kyle met, and they're really sticking to the story that Kyle listened to her song, and she was so touched by it that she listened to Morgan's entire album, and she friend requested her on Instagram. And Morgan Wade didn't know who she was, but her friends were freaking out, so she was like, "Oh, okay," and DM'd Kyle. You can tell they're flirtatious. You can tell that there's some tension there. Morgan says that she's done several other music videos, and anytime that she has a love interest played in the video, people are always speculating that that's her love interest in real life. I haven't seen those speculations, but I'm sure if she says it's true, then it's certainly true. Um, it's just a little strange that if you have a lot of rumors circulating around your relationship and you don't want people to think that you're dating this person, it seems odd that you would play their love opposite them in a music video. Also, you guys should know that this video was filmed about a month or so ago. If you go back on Kyle's Instagram, she posts a photo. You don't know that it's a music set, but the outfit that she's wearing in this clip. I'm alleging and thinking probably that Kyle is doing it to also help Morgan out because it's going to bring attention to her and bring attention to her music video, but it still seems a little ballsy if you don't want people to run their own narratives. I I like Kyle. I think she's really pretty. I think she, probably is a nice girl like 60% of the time. But something's a myth here. Something is a myth here. We really don't see the girls around that much like we used to either. Like, not that she's not around her daughters. I'm not saying that by any means. But I'm saying we're not seeing her daughters engage with Morgan, but we're seeing with Kyle with Morgan a lot. So it's like, is she keeping these two separate? Because if so, that seems a little bit peculiar as well. Because if this is just your mom's friend and she's not drunk or high, she's just a good old country singer who is artistic and creative, why wouldn't you hang with her? And I'm going to tell you something else. Back when Kyle first went to, I want to say it's the first concert of Morgan Wade's that she went to, she was with her oldest daughter. And I want to say the other daughter. And they were in Aspen. So it seems strange that the daughters would attend these concerts with Kyle prior to announcing the separation with their dad. Also, I'm speculating that Mauricio is sort of the one trying to keep them together because of a couple of things. One, he attended Kim's daughter's wedding in Aspen with Kathy and Rick and their whole family that all hate his guts. And we don't have to really talk about whether that, hate is justified or not. If you don't know the story, go check out some of my other videos that I've done on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But Mauricio worked under Rick, which was Kathy's husband, Hilton Highland. He worked for many years under Rick, and then he ended up just starting the agency without telling Rick, and he quit in an email, and he also took agents with him. Then they allegedly had some sort of a gentleman's agreement about not taking clients, and that was broken as well. This is ultimately what led to the invitation, like no more invite, no more soup for you, when Kyle's niece, Nikki, was marrying a Rothschild in London. If you don't know what season I'm talking about, I vaguely remember that Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle and their families were in Italy, in the Tuscan Valley maybe, and they were speaking about the wedding and the complications and the animosity. But the agency was doing good, but the agency was growing. And now, after all these years and all these millions of dollars and doubling their net worth every year, Kyle's probably going to throw Mauricio to the dogs. And why wouldn't Kathy and Rick and everyone want her to be away from Mauricio? So for Mauricio to go to that wedding, it was a small wedding. It wasn't like it was a big wedding he could have mingled with people. It was literally the whole entire Richards family. They like, it's not just Kathy that doesn't like him. It was evident when they filmed that Kathy and Mauricio did not like each other in the least bit. It was Kathy, it was Rick, it was Paris, it was her. I mean, it was stocked full of people that were side-eyeing Mauricio. Okay, going there, knowing you and Kyle are separated, gonna announce a separation, that she's may or may not be seeing someone else emotionally. Does Mauricio know this when they go to this wedding? And he does it to keep a face up because he wants things to go like they have been going, which is probably what? She plays happy wife, he plays happy husband, and he does whatever he wants on the side, and she does too, but secretly wishes that they were in a monogamous relationship. I don't know. We've heard rumors about a man in New York City who used to sleep with Paris Hilton's aunt every time she came into town. So it's very gray area right now. There's also rumors of a YouTuber named Candy Washington who was reporting on some of these rumors and was dealing with issues of demonetization and also of possibly, issues with her channel. So we definitely hope that that's not the case and that it doesn't have anything to do with the rumors, basically, right? So I don't know, guys. It's kind of gray water. I want to know what you guys think. I want you to check out Kyle's Instagram as well. She recently, well, I posted the video as well to my TikTok and Instagram, but you guys can see it on hers as well. And the last thing I wanted to point out, because I just did a TikTok about this, was Kyle's anniversary for her 365 days of being alcohol free that she posted on her Instagram. And I just was curious as to what you guys thought of that, because I wanted to know how many of you guys like celebrate things. Like, why would she really be, if you, hypothetically, if you didn't like to drink or you started a new medication that you couldn't drink on, would you mark the day and the year and the month and then celebrate it? Like, as it's been so many days since I quit drinking, it's been a year or whatever the case may be. It just feels like an AA post. It feels like a 1 year celebration of alcohol. Like, give her her AA coin is what it felt like to me. But it's like she won't say that she was like necessarily sober. She just said she didn't like the way alcohol made her feel, and it didn't matter how much fun she had the night before. It was still like a downer the next day. It was still a depressant. So it's just a little strange to me, because if somebody quit smoking, they might say, "Oh, it's been 1 year since my last cigarette," or "It's been 1 year since my last glass of wine." It just seems like a, I don't know, if you didn't like to drink anymore, you couldn't drink anymore. Like, you would either just cut down on what you normally drink, which if you drank if you didn't drink a whole ton, number one, you wouldn't lose a whole lot of weight when you quit drinking. Unless if you're drinking a lot of sugars, it's not going to be a huge cut in your diet, unless if you're drinking a lot, number one. Number two, you would be like, "Oh, well, I normally have 2 drinks, but I'm just going to try having 1 drink or like a half of a drink," right? Or not at all. But are you going to mark the day and the year and celebrate it? Unless if it's something that maybe has been a challenge for you and you needed a support system and maybe your life was unmanageable. In AA, the saying is the first year is the hardest. The newcomer is the most important person in the room because it's hardest that first year. And so they celebrate 30, 60, 90, and that first year AA will give a coin out for every 30 days because the first year is the hardest. And so that's why it's like a big celebration for your first year. So we saw this by Kyle posting on her Instagram. And she, like I said, she did a whole explanation about that she quit drinking alcohol. And she very much cleaned it up and used, uh, you know, uh, terminology that, housewife terminology, I guess, if you will. Um, But we know also Morgan's been sober for 3 years. So it's like, what's the probability that this woman stops drinking? Also seeks out somebody else who has 3 years sober, which tells me that she's likely in AA and works a program and just doesn't say it. Okay. It's likely it probably is some sort of sponsor or mentor for Kyle, is how everything started, is what I would say. And I'm not saying anything bad about Kyle, because I think it's amazing that it's been a year that she quit drinking. And I think it's amazing that she realized it was problematic. I'm sure watching yourself back on camera being a little tipsy is probably not fun. And you see that enough times, you might be turned off. So, um, you know, if this is what's doing it for her, she seems happy, she looks great, but it's like, are you dissing sobriety? Like, are you like embarrassed to say you're sober or you're in sobriety, or you could be working a program? Because then it would have to admit that you may or may not have had an issue or your life was unmanageable. those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure that you comment, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, and stay posted for everything housewife. Also want to shout out Amazon for my new a fire pit that I got like a week or so, maybe like 2 weeks ago. We got it put together. It's so nice, and I just wanted to shout them out. So have a great day, guys.